good evening and thank you so much for joining us tonight on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from the Edo State capital, Nigeria. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyedola and reading the news with me tonight.
This Tosin Toluwaleju. Welcome.
Marking the International Day of Education, which is slated for January 24th every year, this year's edition is celebrated across the world with the theme, Learning for Lasting Peace. It is a day that aims to celebrate the role education plays in peace and development. BeeTv News' Tosin Toluwaleju brings a special report on a brief history and significance of the day. The report.
According to UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Report 2023, more than 1 in 4 school-age children were still out of school on the continent, with the concerning statistics revealing the out-of-school population in sub-Saharan Africa increased by 12 million over 2015 to 2021, of which quality is a concern for those in school, as 9 out of 10 children in sub-Saharan Africa cannot read and understand a simple text by the age of 10. The right to education is a universal right of every child. Education plays a vital role in building a sustainable society. It shapes the nature of an individual and contributes to what eventually forms their perspectives. On December 3, 2018, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution that proclaimed January 24th as the International Day of Education. The United Nations General Assembly aimed to highlight and celebrate the role of learning for development. The adoption of the resolution, which formed the International Day of Education, was co-authored by Nigeria and 58 other member states. The International Day of Education is observed across the globe on January 24th to underscore education as a basic human right and a public responsibility. The day is envisioned to promote gender equality, inclusivity, and poverty eradication through quality education and democratic participation. It's also to promote numerous learning methods to bring together talented minds, ensure peace, and safeguard the earth. This year's theme, Learning for Lasting Peace, is dedicated to the crucial role education and teachers play in countering hate speech, a phenomenon in recent years with the use of social media damaging the fabric of our societies. The world is seeing a surge of violent conflicts paralleled by an alarming rise of discrimination, racism, xenophobia, and hate speech. The impact of this violence transcends any boundary based on geography, gender, race, religion, politics, offline and online. Education is central to this endeavor as underlined by the UNESCO Recommendation on Education for Peace, Human Rights and Sustainable Development. In an interview with BeeTv News, an educationist and public analyst Dr. Dan Ekeriafo, speaking on the year's theme, Learning for Lasting Peace, expressed that education must be transformative, equipping learners with the necessary knowledge, values, attitudes and skills, behaviors to become agents of peace in their communities. He stated that education plays a huge role in enlightening the mind of the people, continuous education of the mind, teaching and making children responsible.
Young children are given the right education by families. You are preparing them for future responsibilities. Their minds will be channeled to doing what is right. But where the reverse is the case, the child does not have access to education, the result of what you're going to get is that they will learn the vices that are common in the community. And as they grow in it, they become dangerous to the same community, and the community will not have peace. Therefore, if we must have peace, we must provide education for the younger generation. So this year's theme is a call on both the government, families, parents, and others to value what it means to have real education, the continuous transformation of the mind. If our minds are transformed and enlightened, we will come to this point in our society and realize that those things we fight over, at least we can talk over and get the right solutions to them. This is why this year's theme is more apt than ever, considering the growing violence around the world.
Speaking with some respondents on further developments that can be done to the education sector, especially in Nigeria, as we mark the International Day of Education, they expressed that the government needs to put education in a profitable light in order to foster development.
Everything they affect Nigeria today, now the leaders and the day. Even though some people want structural way education, they good. But you see say inside many egg, one bad egg must inside we go spoiler. If I good, this one good, things go work. But if I go say the rest bad, while I go there now, I know if it's trust.
What we are going to do is this: if you see life of the people in this country, in Nigeria, they're after money, and with the system of the government, they are not working towards the welfare of the people.
This year, UNESCO is also dedicating the day to the crucial role education and teachers play in society to shape it and nurture it with better practices. It is therefore a call to action that underscores the urgency and importance of a collaborative effort to transform education, making it inclusive, peace-oriented and resilient for the challenges of the 21st century, thus building education on the cornerstone of lasting peace and progress. Tosin Toluwaloju, reporting for BeeTv News.
Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa of Ondo State has dissolved the State Executive Council. This was contained in a statement issued by his Chief Press Secretary Ebenezer Adenio in Akure, the state capital. The statement says all members of the cabinet are to immediately hand over to the permanent secretaries or the most senior administrative officers in their respective offices. Also, all senior special assistants and special assistants are relieved of their duties with immediate effect and directed to hand over all government properties in their possession. The governor thanked the affected officials for their services and contributions to the development of Ondo State. An APC governorship aspirant in this year's election, Engineer Gideon Ikine, has promised to make Edo State the food basket of the country when he becomes the next governor of Edo State. Engineer Ikine said agriculture is going to be one of his major focus in governance. BeeTv News' Regina Ojomo reports the engineer Ikine made the promise when he visited Irwa, Esan Central local government area to meet with leaders of the APC. The report.
Less than a month from now, the All Progressive Congress in Edo State will go on a poll to nominate a governorship candidate. Here at Ira, one of the frontline aspirants, Engineer Gideon Ikine, visited to solicit the support of the party leaders and members who will be participating in the direct primaries to seek for their support. Ikine said he has a well-structured plan to move Edo State forward, but he will want all of them to support him to achieve the goal. He said he is the best prepared candidate for the job of fixing the problem facing the state.
We have been in opposition now for 8 years, is it not?
Yes.
And look at my program. Beacon of what? Hope. Why have we remained in this party? Because we believe that there's hope. At the end of the day, there will be light at the end of the tunnel. And that light at the end of the tunnel is here today. And that person is Engineer Gideon.
He noted that the people are looking into the government to put the state back together in every sector. And one of the ways it can be done is if all of them to unite as one and nominate him.
We are going to pursue and greet vigorously and make each and every one of you rich through agriculture. Because oil will fail, but agriculture will not fail. When you decide to send me, we will change their lifestyle. We will change their disability to ability. Hello. Your ability to create wealth is what makes you a human being.
Some of the people we interviewed said they know that Engineer Ikine is capable of doing that. If given a chance, it will turn Edo State around for the betterment of the state.
But we are so grateful and we are happy that somebody like you are in this race.
We really enjoy what you have told us, and we have been able to discover that he's capable, he's educated, and if we decide to say we are sending Gideon, he will lead us in the right paths. Compared to those that are becoming, Gideon has been one of the best. Among other aspirants, he has been one of the best, honestly.
You may know how they were responding and why they were responding in approval of your aspiration, because of that the innocent I can final where the mama lege I had in the German hormone who does about you. May God be with you. Amen. Unexpectedly, we're Muna, or something like yourself. Amen.
The tour continues. Regina Ojomo reporting for BeeTv News.
Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori has approved housing and car loans for civil servants in the state. Reiterating the commitment of the present administration to the welfare of workers, Delta State Head of Service Regina Bayoku gave the hint in Asaba, the Delta State capital. BeeTv News Rebecca has details.
The governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborowori, said he has approved housing and car loan for all confirmed civil servants in Delta State. This was made public by the Delta State Head of Service, Regina Bayoko, during the opening ceremony of the 6th edition of the Inter-Cadet Transfer Training in Asaba, the state capital. The Head of Service of Delta State, Mr. Regina Bayoko, said that the new approval will enable all civil servants to build houses and acquire cars before retirement. Bayoko reiterated that the interest rate is in single digits. The loans are alone assessed once in service.
The approvals that we have been seeking in the past for car loan and housing loan was, for instance, 100 million. And when the governor came, he doubled it. Yes. And that effort was an ongoing one with our leader too, Governor Okowa. But the governor gave a stamp, the current governor, Sheriff Oborowori, gave a stamp to it. And in addition, Governor Okowa gave approval to expand the value of the facility to an individual. So let's just take, for instance, if you are on level 8, you are entitled to 1 million. Governor Okowa gave approval to expand it to 2 million. And Governor Sheriff Oborowori understood the fact that you cannot rely on the 100 million that was released before. And in line with his more agenda, he added more to it and he doubled it.
They should listen attentively with all what they are going to teach them, so that at the end of the day they will write well and get to their height. The position that they are acquiring for, God will give it to them.
On their part, some of the civil servants seeking cadet transfer were enjoined to remain professional in order to make their mark in civil service.
I'm so excited being here, and I give God all the glory, because it's by the grace of God that I'm being here. I know so many people applied to be here, but we are not taken, and by God's grace I'm here.
Trying from the technical cadre to the officers cadre. You are in the technical cadre if you come in with maybe HND or something, but you still need to pass your professional exams or probably go and run a BSc before you can then be, accepted into the officers cadre. I've been on the technical cadre for quite some time, stagnated on 14, so I'm seeking to at least switch over so I can go beyond 14.
The head of service said Governor Oborowori is committed not only to the social welfare of workers, but the development of the state as well. Rebecca Goffey reporting for BeeTv News.
The federal government, through the Bureau of Public Enterprises, is currently carrying out transactions for the sale of 5 power plants under the National Integrated Power Plant project at a cost of about $1.15 billion. It was gathered on Tuesday. Although sources familiar with the development explained that the cost of the plant should exceed $5 billion based on international benchmark. They revealed that the BPE was planning to sell the facilities at a price that is a little above $1.1 billion. BeeTv News Gift Uwaboy has details.
General BPE Ignatius Ayewo confirmed to newsmen in a brief telephone conversation that the transaction is ongoing, adding that it is not concluded. The BPE boss did not disclose the cost for the 5 plants, as he quickly stated that he was in a meeting and would not be able to give additional details. However, impeccable sources at the Bureau named the 5 power plants to include the 434 megawatts gas-fired Geregu 2 power plant located in Kogi, 451 megawatts Omotosho 2 plant in Ondo and 750 megawatts Olonshogbo 2 plant in Ogun State. Others include the 563 megawatts Odukpami power plant in Calabar, Cross River State, and the 451 megawatts Bini Iyobo plant in Edo State. It was gathered that the Omotosho plant, which has 4 power generating turbines, would be sold at about $85 billion, while the Olonshogbo NIPP with also 4 turbines would cost $170 million. The Bini Iyobo plant with 5 power generating turbines would go for $420 million. Calabar Odukpami plant with 5 turbines will be sold at about $260 million, while Geregu plant with 4 turbines will go for $250 million. The official went ahead to explain that it will cost about $1 million to construct a plant that could generate 1 megawatt of electricity, stressing that if the 5 NIPP plants were valued on this basis, they would cost more than $5 billion. It was, however, gathered that the cost of constructing 1 megawatt power plant vary depending on several factors, including type of power plant, location, technological advancement, etc. But a general range for the cost of constructing a 1 mega power plant based on different technology is that for a solar power plant, it is between $1 million to $2 million per megawatt. In December 2022, it was reported that the federal government and the 36 state governors finally agreed to sell 5 power plants under the National Integrated Power Project and use the proceeds to fund the 2023 budget. Parties in this deal reached the agreement in December after over 2 years of dispute and legal tussles as regard the sale of the NIPP plant being managed by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. The NDPHC, owned by the federal states and local government council, is a power generation and distribution company that oversees the implementation of the NIPPs. The former Director General Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex Oko, had disclosed the agreement between the federal government and the states as regard the NIPP plans to journalists in Abuja during an interview. The disclosure was, however, opposed by various groups. There have been discussions and plans for the sale of the NIPPs by the Bureau of Public Enterprises for several years, with the specific details and target sale amount evolving over time. In April 2021, the National Council on Privatization approved the sale of 5 NIPPs through a fast-track strategy. The estimated value of these 5 plants was not publicly disclosed at the time. In March 2022, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation expressed interest in acquiring some NIPPs, indicating continued progress with the sale. In December 2022, the former BPE boss Oko confirmed an agreement between the federal government and the states for the sale of the 5 NIPPs. He projected the sale to generate over 260 billion naira, around $600 million. However, many sources and CSOs expressed concern that this amount wouldn't significantly impact the rising budget deficits at the time. As of today, and ongoing by what the acting Director General of BP states, the sale of the NIPPs has not been finalized. The Niger Delta Power Holding Company, which managed the NIPPs, has also not confirmed its sales. Meanwhile, it should be stated that while there is no official confirmation of the cost of the NIPPs, some sources speculate that the initial estimate for individual NIPPs could have ranged from $300 million to $500 million. Gift Uwagboy reporting for BeeTv News. Despite the routine maintenance of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, which spanned from 19th to the 21st of January, many citizens who spoke with the news crew lamented over the poor electricity situation in their various areas, adding that it has taken a toll on their businesses and day-to-day activities. One respondent living at New Benin lamented over the poor supply generated to that area, as it has caused her discomfort and inconvenience.
See, like they know they bring am. Even where me they sell for Oba market for Ring Road, they block mineral count for people with the up. You know they see like they sell am. All the market, no one where they block. Pepsi, Coke, like no one where they block. So say like they do where they block. By now, see for don't reach market, and now they go. We reach here now, we open preach now water.
Constant, like before November period, they normally give us light in the morning 9, then they will take it by 4. But recently from December period now, they will bring it maybe 7:30 in the morning. Before 12 or 12 o'clock, they will take it. And this period is a very hot season period that we really need light to sell our business. Like
others who spoke to the news crew said the light has been quite stable in their areas, however noting that it can and should be improved upon going forward.
In my area is just the norms. They give us light by 8 in the morning. They take the light by 10, then in the evening they bring it by 6, take it by 8. It should be an improvement. Sure, businesses will need light. So some persons are still running on gen. Those that have money, they are going to solar to power their business and to just live comfortably.
May they help us now, may we see light well. As if I be all the days. Not be saying that they share every day. This side they go share, the other day they go share for the other side. Make it there stable.
Residents living in areas where there is poor supply of electricity pleaded with the Benin Electricity Distribution Company to effect measures to improve the situation. Oluwatoyin Oyedola reporting for BeeTv News.
Many developed countries today are able to bring the socio-economic welfare of its citizens to the fore and fix any issues accordingly because the governments of such nations have a central national database with an accurate record of everyone. But will the creation of a workable central database in Nigeria help the country? How will a central database system help the nation? BeeTv News correspondent sampled the candid opinions of the general public as they speak on the benefits of having a government-controlled workable database for its citizens. The report by Uyi Lambert is presented by Rebecca Gulfi.
Nigeria is a country blessed with abundant human capital resources and boasts of a population of more than 200 million, which makes it the most populated African nation. Many developed and even developing countries with similar population sizes have a workable central database that keeps an up-to-date records and identities of the citizens and making sure that the various government agencies, including security agencies, are aware of such records. But how will the creation of a central database in Nigeria help the nation to develop? BeeTv News correspondents interviewed some Nigerians who mostly believe that the creation of such database will be highly beneficial to the government, especially in the area of crime fighting, security, planning, monitoring the unemployment rate, and knowing the accurate population growth in the country.
If you look at what's happening in this country now, there are kidnappings, crimes everywhere, frauds. So you can use that database to at least know, to trace all these criminals. So you can be able to have a kind of in-hand information about everybody.
It will actually help in one way because it's a form of development. And we are living in a developing world. The world is advancing. So actually we need it in the sense that, because we are supposed to have a proper record of everything. It's called for accountability.
I think that in the sense of like scholarships, for example, like in my school, they used to give these federal government scholarships. But some people should fake in, like they fake that they're from Bayelsa, they're from Delta, all these kind of things. But I believe we have like that database going to help address all these issues. So it's like a straight procedure without cutting corners.
Though many stakeholders and Nigerian academia have proposed theories as to the benefit of creating a central database, making such an endeavor to work is not without challenges. Some have cited corruption in high places to be a hindrance, but there is hope that with proper governmental backing, the identity project will be feasible. Rebecca Gulfi reporting for BeeTv News.
The United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Tuesday said the U.S. would provide an additional $45 million to West African nations as part of the plan to battle instability, bringing total funding under the year-old program to nearly $300 million, according to reports by AFP and Reuters. In a four-nation tour of African democracies, Blinken met separately Tuesday with President Bola Tinubu and Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara. The trip was to discuss U.S.-African partnerships over trade, climate, infrastructure, health, security, and other issues. It follows a summit in Washington with African leaders in December 2022. Blinken sought progress combating coups and extremism in West Africa and talks with two key leaders as he pointed to Ivory Coast as a model.
The Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NNPC, says the volume of Nigeria's non-oil exports in 2023 stood at 6.685 million metric tons of exportable products. The Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC, Noye Ayeni, made this known at the presentation of the non-oil exports performance for the year 2023 in Abuja. She says the continued increase in volume of the nation's non-oil exports reaffirms the widely held assertion that the sector is the key to revitalization of the country's economy. The report.
The Executive Director and the Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Export Promotion Council, says an increase in the volume and value of exportable goods and services and the repatriation of export proceeds will enhance foreign exchange inflow into the country, as well as stabilize the value of the Nigerian naira. The NEPC boss, however, acknowledged a decline in monetary terms of Nigeria's exports from about $4.8 billion in 2022 to $4.5 billion in 2023. Ayeni listed the factors responsible for the decline to include political instability in many exportable countries, rejection of some of Nigeria's products, and exchange rates, amongst others. She therefore expressed the Council's commitment to tackle most of these challenges to ensure growth of the sector in the shortest possible time.
Commodities in terms of total exported products were urea, fertilizer, which accounted for 20.10%, while cocoa beans came second at 13.19%. Sesame seed took the third position at 9.03%. There are quite a number of other exportable products that contributed significantly to huge volume of our export in 2023.
Considering that one of the major challenges facing exporters is the issue of export reject, NEPC boss says the council is collaborating with relevant authorities to create awareness, build capacity in the area of good agricultural practices, labeling and packaging, and ensure adherence to quality and standards of the export in the global market. On products exported, the NEPC boss said 273 different products were reported to have been exported in the period under review, ranging from manufactured, semi-processed, solid minerals to agricultural commodities. She said this figure reflected a notable increase of approximately 28.04% compared to the preceding year.
However, notably Brazil, China, and Japan emerged as the top three importing countries respectively for non-oil export products exported from Nigeria. 13 member countries of ECOWAS, excluding Cape Verde, actively engaged in the importation of Nigerian products throughout the year 2023. 1,694,000 metric tons, amounting to $343.9 million accounted for 7.6% of the total export value. Interestingly, only Ghana made it to the top 20 global importers from Nigeria, occupying the 18th position on the export log.
She further rules out that Nigeria's non-oil products penetrated markets across 124 countries in the America, Asia, Europe, Oceania, and Africa. 13 member countries of ECOWAS, excluding Cape Verde, actively imported Nigerian products, with 1,145 exporting companies actively exporting Nigeria's products in the year 2023. According to the NEPC boss, this figure can be improved with adequate funding, capacity building, and mentorship.
I wish to use this medium to implore financial institutions to take advantage of the opportunities in the non-oil export sector by supporting exporters to enhance their capacity to scale up production and access international markets, especially now that we have the African Continental Free Trade Zone, AfTA, which is the single largest economic bloc in the continent. This support is critical in increasing the basket of exportable non-oil exports, stimulating value addition, and thereby increasing our foreign exchange earnings.
The NEPC boss further reiterated the commitment of the council to redouble its efforts towards repositioning the sector for sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Tosin Toluwaloju, reporting for BeeTv.
Nigeria's economy has dwindled over the years, and this has taken a toll on the mental health of its citizens. This can be seen in the case of Ms. Amarachi Ugochukwu, a marketing employee in a bank in Ikorodu, Lagos, Nigeria. The 32-year-old lady had committed suicide by consuming a harmful substance. Amarachi is one amongst many who are facing the issue of the hard economy. BeeTv News' Millicent Agagba completes the report.
Ms. Amarachi can be said to be a victim of the hard economy, as her suicide note confirmed her decision as to why she ended her life, saying that the hard economy made nothing work for her. The current economic landscape has taken a toll on the mental health of its citizens across board. The high cost of living, the inability to meet basic needs, as well as many others, has had an impact on citizens' mental health. There is no doubt that the economic downturn in Nigeria is truly affecting the mental health of citizens. The news crew went to the streets of Benin Metropolis to obtain citizens' perception on how the economy affects their mental health. Here's what the various respondents had to say.
It's very pathetic because things are difficult. Prices of goods are rising every day. You understand? So some people are finding it difficult to feed 3 square meals a day. So if someone take her life, I will not be surprised because the economic situation is very bad in the country.
We don't know where we are going. Tomorrow we may say it go good. This year we go this year it go good. It's always worst. With nobody, no man, no woman that is enjoying it. All I know that is prayer that can really help us. Otherwise, I don't know where we are going.
Nigeria, it affects everybody, ranging from even the children to adulthood. So me, the expenses I'm running in my family now is very high.
Contrary to popular perception, some respondents shared their views on which they believe even with the current economic hardship in Nigeria, it is not enough reason for anybody to take their lives, as doing so will not change the economy. They related to us how they channel their energy into something else instead of succumbing to anxiety the economic hardship brings.
No try. For him to kill himself is not the best way.
Never reach where person go die, but now the person no reason why make can die.
It is very clear that the economic challenges in Nigeria and issues of mental health is a complex issue. Completing suicide is and can never be an option. Millicent Agagba, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Nigerian Exports Promotion Council, NEPC, has embarked on a management retreat in a bid to reposition the non-oil export sector for enhanced performance. BeeTv News' Tosin Toluwaloju has more details on this and more from the business world.
The Executive Director, CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Noye Ayeni, speaking at the retreat, disclosed that the training was organized to create a platform for the management to review its operational activities for the preceding year, set targets, and chart a new course to boost exports. According to a statement by Ndubueze Okeke, Ayeni pointed out that this year's retreat to focus on the review of NEPC medium-term corporate strategy 2019 to 2023, which expired in December 2023, as well as review of 2024 annual work plan for the implementation of the Council's corporate strategy. She also disclosed that the objectives of the retreat were the theme repositioning the non-oil export sector Operation Double Your Export include, among others, enhancing the formulation of strategies, developing action plans, building the emotional commitment of management and employees to further create a roadmap to optimize the council's operational efficiency. China on Wednesday said it would next month cut the amount banks must hold in reserve to boost lending, state media reported. The decision comes as the world's second largest economy faces multiple headwinds, including a prolonged crisis in the property sector, sluggish domestic consumption and weakening foreign demand. The move, according to AFP reports, would provide 1 trillion yuan, equivalent to $140 billion of liquidity, to the market. More checks, controls and screenings on foreign trade and investment with the European Union are on the cards in the latest proposal from the European Commission on Wednesday. EU Trade Commissioner Valdis Dombrovskis stated in a statement that in facing profound geopolitical turmoil and fast technological shifts, the EU has to reduce security risk from trade and investment. The package contains a wider screening regime on foreign direct investment into the bloc, so that all EU member states must have a system with harmonized rules. The idea is to assess the risk involved in foreign takeovers of biotechnological, aerospace and robotics companies, as well as critical public infrastructure like ports and airports. The Commission plans for EU countries to agree on common rules for sensitive exports and avoid isolated decisions. And that's it on Business News tonight. Thank you for watching. Tosin Toluwaloju reporting for BeeTv News. Let's join Rebecca Goffey on the global scene.
A Russian military transport plane carrying 65 Ukrainian military prisoners for a planned exchange crashes in the Belgorod region near Ukraine. The details cannot be independently verified, and conflicting reports suggest it was transporting missiles for air defense systems. Video footage shows the plane crashing and exploding near a residential area, resulting in fatalities. While some initial reports speculated Ukrainian involvement, Ukraine's general staff states it lacks accurate information and is investigating. The Ukrainian government warns of Russia conducting information operations to destabilize Ukrainian society. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden secures a victory in New Hampshire's Democratic primary, despite not officially being on the ballot. Voters wrote in his name, avoiding potential embarrassment. Biden skipped the primary due to a dispute with a Democratic National Committee, which ordered the state to reschedule its vote. Supporters organized a write-in campaign, resulting in Biden winning 67% of the vote, surpassing Democratic Congressman Dean Phillips. In the Republican primary, Donald Trump maintains a comfortable lead over Nikki Haley, who vows to continue her presidential campaign despite consecutive losses. Trump is poised to secure the Republican nomination after winning in Iowa last week. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado denounces alleged government attempts to intimidate her and supporters. She reports the abduction of 2 campaign coordinators and vandalism of party offices. These incidents, occurring months after an agreement for fair elections in 2024, are seen as a violation of the deal. The accord reached in Barbados includes commitment for international observers in the 2024 presidential poll and freedom of movement for all candidates. Tensions rise between the opposition and President Nicolas Maduro's government, casting a shadow over the previously negotiated understanding. Finally, Peter Limjarorat, a Harvard-educated reformist leader in Thailand, secures victory in a trial seen by supporters as an attempt to derail his political career. His party, Move Forward, won the most votes in a significant election last year but faced obstacles in taking charge. Peter's promise to reform strict royal insult laws and address military influence marked him as a threat to the establishment. Acquitted in the first case against him, Peter faces legal challenge next week regarding proposed reforms to Thailand's lease Majest law. A verdict against Move Forward could lead to party dissolution and a ban on its leadership from politics. And that's it on the Global News segment for tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I am Rebecca Goffey.
Nollywood actor Yul Edochie launches online Christian ministry. The actor announced the launch of the online ministry on social media. He posted the flyer to his Instagram containing the details of his True Salvation ministry and called his fans to attend online. BeeTv News Gifts Uwagboy has details of this and more from the entertainment world. Controversial Nigerian actor and director Yul Edochie has left tongues wagging after he took to Instagram to announce that he would go into ministry to spread the gospel of Christ. He disclosed that he is set to hold the first ministration as he has decided to answer the call from God to win souls. The movie star had gone online earlier to reveal that he was about to make the biggest announcement of his life. Few hours later, he revealed that he is set to become a gospel minister and is about to hold his first preaching live. He named the ministry True Salvation Ministry and is set to win souls for the church. Sharing the photo of the first message, he wrote, "It is time to answer the call of God Almighty. It is time to do His work fully, to spread the true message of God. Tune in and be transformed." Grammy-winning singer Damini Ogulu, aka Burna Boy, has tied with Tems as the Nigerian artist with the most Billboard Hot 100 entries. The African giant crooner achieved defeat after his song with 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, Just Like Me, debuted at 67 on this week's 100 charts, extending its entries to 5. Following defeat, Burna Boy now shares the record for the most Billboard Hot entries for a Nigerian African artist with Tems. Other Nigerians who have made entries on the chart include Wizkid, Rema, Fireboy, and CK. Afrobeat sensation Omale has reflected on his time in Uganda prison, labeling it as amazing time. Omale, along with Tems, faced legal consequences for performing at the concert in Spake Resort, Kampala, violating COVID-19 social distancing regulation. In the interview, Omale shares that despite the initial rough appearance of the situation, he now sees it as a crucial experience that propelled him to the next level in his musical career. Omale emphasizing the positive outcome, stating that the incident fostered the strong bond he shared with Tems and her manager, Muyiwa Awoniyi, who happened to be in the same cell. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has said Kiss Daniel and Tekno's 2023 hit song Buga is almost becoming the country's second national anthem. Shettima, whose Buga dance video went viral last year, explained that he joined the challenge because Nigeria needs to showcase its art and culture to the world. He said the government has a vision called Nigerian Destination 2030 and remains committed to promoting art and culture for the actualization of the grand vision. Gifts Uwagboy reporting for BeeTv News.
Moving on to sports news tonight, let's join Uyi Lambert.
Carlos Alcaraz was knocked out of the Australian Open as Alexander Zverev head off a spirited comeback by the Spaniard to win an absorbing quarterfinal at 1:20 local time. German Zverev was rewarded for a rapid start to win 6-1, 6-3, 6-7, 2-7, 6-4 against Spanish second seed Alcaraz. Zverev served for victory at 5-3 in the third set, but Alcaraz burst into life. However, the sixth seed made no mistake the second time around to set up a semi-final with Daniil Medvedev. Earlier, third seed Medvedev won 7-6, 7-4, 2-6, 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 against Poland's ninth seed Hubert Hurkacz. 27-year-old Russian is aiming for a second Grand Slam title after winning the 2021 US Open, while Zverev is searching for a first major triumph. The pair will meet when the men's semi-finals take place on Friday, with the defending champion Novak Djokovic facing Italian fourth seed Jannik Sinner. The New Orleans Pelicans scored a franchise record points total in their 153-124 victory over the Utah Jazz. CJ McCollum registered 33 points as Herbert Jones Jr. scored 22 points, but Ingram added 18. The Pelicans' previous point record was set in a 149-129 victory over the Sacramento Kings in 2018. Elsewhere, Jalen Williams scored with 2 seconds remaining to give Oklahoma City Thunder a 111-109 victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. John Louis Gossett has been sacked as coach of 2023 African Cup of Nations host Ivory Coast 2 days after their 4-0 defeat against Equatorial Guinea. It was the heaviest home defeat in Ivory Coast history, and they are the first African hosts to lose 2 group games since they did so in 1984. The Elephants still carry faint hopes of progressing to the last 16 as one of the best third-place teams. They will be led by Hermes Faye, one of Gazette coaches, on an interim basis. The country's football federation said it had terminated the contract of the 70-year-old Gazette and his assistant Ghislaine Breton due to insufficient results. Ivory Coast finished the pool stage on 3 points in Group A, having also lost 1-0 to Nigeria following a 2-0 win against Guinea-Bissau in the opening match. The hosts must now wait on the result of the last group games on Wednesday to see if they sneak through. That is the beat on the sports segment tonight on BeeTv News. I'm Will Lambert. Thanks for watching.
And with that, we've come to the end of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyedola.
And my name is Tessin Toluwaleju. Thank you for staying with us.
Have a good night.